Yesterday in Tel Aviv, family members of hostages taken by Hamas on October 7th met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Among them was our next guest, Ruby Hen. He is the father of American-Israeli hostage Ittai Hen, a soldier who was taken captive while on active duty in Israel on October 7th. And we thank you so much for coming on the show to talk with us. Again, we want to know, first of all, how the meeting yesterday went with the Prime Minister. Can you share anything about that?
Yeah, so morning 75 for us. I actually came with low expectations. You know, it's been 75 days, the despair that can creep in and take over the soul is always in the background. And meeting the Prime Minister actually in an intimate forum was much more productive than previous attempts to talk to the cabinet or to the government of Israel. So it was possible to actually have a discussion, Q&A, and we were looking for hope that he would be able to reconfirm his commitment and the government to the release of the hostages as the agenda priority of the government. And, you know, it's complicated because there are two goals that sometimes conflict with one another. One is the destruction of the Hamas, and the second is the release of the hostages. It's a complicated topic, but we, reminded the Prime Minister that it happened on his shift. You know, the people that were abducted, kidnapped, happened 75 days ago, and it's his responsibility to bring them back alive, and that is the expectation.
Ittai, we have been looking at pictures of your handsome son on and off the screen here. And I'm wondering, your life on October 6th compared to your life this morning, obviously there's been a huge change in it. How do you cope with it as a parent on a daily basis? How do you get through a day thinking about your son being held captive?
No, I think we could all write a book on that one. But think of it that you've been transformed to another universe, where that universe acts differently. Time is a different concept, as well as your routine and what you do. You wake up in the morning and you understand that you're still in this alternative reality, and then you get that slap in the face. That reality basically tells you, yeah, you're still in this nightmare. And then you need to say, okay, what do I do? And that's one of the most difficult questions, because there's so many things to do that you don't know where to spend the next hour. Should I be on the media? Should I be, here in Israel going to the parliament? Should I be in the United States at Congress, Senate? Where should I be? And then after you finish 18, 19 hours of working and, you feel exhausted, you ask yourself one simple question. Have I been able to move an inch? The release of my son that is a U.S. citizen.
Ruby, this
and
is
you don't
Walt.
have a good answer.
Ruby, this is Walt Isaacson, and our hearts are with you. You say that's got to be the focus, getting the hostages out. What do you think is the best way to do that?
So I'm not a strategist, but when I walk around in the Senate on Israel, you see what I got? There are things that are important and things that are urgent. Hostages getting out alive is urgent. They are being tortured. They have not received any visitation of the International Red Cross, which by itself is a topic we could talk about a lot. Like, how has that not happened? U.S. citizens. Think of someone that's in Montana, Louisiana, anyone. Think of a U.S. citizen that is being held captive, that has been abducted in some terrorist organization, And the International Red Cross does not feel obligated to go and meet that individual and see what is his medical condition. I have no proof of life. Let's put that on the table. Isn't that something basic? Like, the International Red Cross has a permanent mandate to visit hostages in hostile environments. Why are they not doing that? And I'll also look at the U.S. ally, Qatar. Qatar claims to be a very good friend of the United States. And we've asked them, the families, can you please provide sign of life that I believe anyone in the United States will show gratitude to Qatar to provide that sign of life of U.S. citizens. Mm-hmm. And it's been 75 days. 75 days.
Ruby Chen, the father of 19-year-old Israeli-American Itai Chen, who was taken hostage by Hamas. Thank you
If I could just add one more sentence, if it's possible. We are getting to Christmas. And, we just finished the Jewish Hanukkah, which is the time of miracles of the Jewish people. And now Christmas is coming up, which is also a miracle on its own. We ask people that are listening to us, please pray, and for the safety of all the hostages that need to get out immediately. And when you have your Christmas dinner and enjoy being with your family, please leave an empty chair for those 130 hostages, which include 8 U.S. citizens. And remember that we are having our dinner with an empty chair, and we would like to be whole as soon as possible, and we need that miracle. So please pray with us.
We will. Ruby, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us on the show this morning. Thank you.
We will do
Thank
that. Thank you so much.